University of Alberta has a lot of scholarships, especially for undergraduates. There are entrance scholarships, whereby if you are just that lucky person, right, you will receive up to $120,000, and that $120,000 in scholarship is for 4 years. So you're going to school for free.
Wow. Hello guys, we are back again. This is the third time you guys have seen that die again. And today we are going to be talking about universities in Canada that offers a lot of scholarship opportunities. Like these universities have a lot of scholarship opportunities to offer, and if you're applying, I think you guys should consider it. And Nada will give us the list and tell us about their requirements.
Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So talking about some universities that have a lot of scholarships that are available for international students. Now, sorry, just before I start, giving you the list, I do want to mention that for many of these scholarships, some of them are merit, and I don't have all of them in my head, but some of them are merit based. And merit based means that you don't, there's no separate application, just apply for admission like normal, and then if you're lucky, based on your grades, because it's solely based on your grades, then when they are giving you the admission, they will also attach the scholarship offer to it. So that's merit based. So many of these scholarships, especially the entrance ones, are merit based. And then there are some others that you have to apply for yourself, like you have to do a separate application for. And then there are the ones that you can get, research, getting your funding if you're doing master's or PhD. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, so for the merit base, what are the things you have to do for you to deserve such scholarship?
Literally nothing, just your grades, nothing but your grades, like your GPA, having a high GPA, having a very good results. Because with merit based, right, it's something that they look at the application, they look at they look at people's results and GPA, and then they just choose, they pick and choose, or they just do it by nomination. So you don't even know who is going to nominate you, right? But I will say that merit is something that is solely based on that grade, your academic achievement. So if you have a very high GPA, maybe your secondary school results are very, very good, or maybe your undergraduate degree is so good, like you had a first class or something like that, right? Then if you're lucky enough, they might nominate you for a merit scholarship and award you like whatever amounts that they want to award you without you even doing anything. So like your grades need to be really high up there to get that merit scholarship. That's what it is, because you don't apply. The only application is applying for admission. There isn't a separate application. So once you've applied for admission, whoever is in the admissions team, like whoever the people are that are going to decide on admissions, right? They will be considering those applications for the scholarships, and then they'll do it based on nomination.
Okay. Yeah. So carry on with the list.
Okay, so I have University Canada West, which I've mentioned that school before. University Canada West is one of those schools that they have about 10 different scholarships that you can apply for. But I think if I remember correctly, these scholarships are the ones that you apply for. You will fill a separate application for them. A school like, for example, Queen's University has a lot of scholarships. And this school is in Ontario, and so they have different entrance scholarships, especially if you are applying for undergraduate degree. But even if you're applying for a graduate degree, don't be too bothered about it. It usually ranges from 36,000 to 80,000. It depends on like what they give to you. It all depends, right? I know I've talked about Queen's University before on my channel, and I know there was one particular scholarship that was worth $2,000 that international students could apply for. or is it was it based on merit or something like that? Now, another thing, I have to cut myself short here, but another
Mm.
thing I do want to mention is when looking at scholarships, right? A lot of people are so focused on the big value, so
Mm.
getting 10,000, 20,000, something to just cover their entire tuition. But I
Yeah.
want to advise you, it's okay to have, that kind of goal, to have that
Yeah.
kind of admission and dream. But at the same time, don't neglect the smaller value scholarships,
Mm.
because at the end of the day, it's still money, right? And this money will go a long way. You don't know how it's going to go a long way for
Mm.
you, right?
Mm.
So if you see a scholarship that is $2,000 and then you see another scholarship that is $4,000,
Yeah.
what are you applying for? You're applying for $6,000. If you see another one that is $10,000, right? You apply for, just apply to as many as possible. If you
Possible.
get those three scholarships, that
Mm.
is what, that's $16,000 in
Mm.
scholarships, and $16,000 is more than enough to pay your
Covers
tuition,
it. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It covers a lot. So, in as much as you want those high value scholarships, also look at the ones that are smaller in terms of the
Yeah,
amount.
and it's less
And
competitive as
yeah,
well.
yeah, it tends to be less competitive. And also, when you apply, don't just apply for one, apply for as many as
Multiple.
possible.
Yeah.
That is if there is the application for it. If
Yeah.
it's merit, that's fine. You don't need to apply. But if there is application for it, apply for as many as possible.
Mm.
And you'll be surprised that when they start sending you emails, oh, you won the scholarship, you won that scholarship, everything totals up to $5,000,
Yeah.
$6,000. It's a lot of money
Yeah.
compared to just focusing on only one that
Mm.
is $40,000. The
Yeah.
one that is $40,000, the requirements for getting that scholarship that is $40,000 is not the same with the
Mm.
requirements of
Yeah.
something that is $2,000,
Yeah.
but it's still money that goes a long way towards your education. So, bottom line, don't neglect the
Yeah, good advice.
smaller
Yeah.
values, right? It's still money at the end of the day.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
So another school is University of British Columbia. Now, University of British Columbia is one of those schools that is, it's like the number 2 school in Canada. It's one of those top universities. And
Okay.
yes, it does seem like it's difficult to get admission because it's one of the best in
Okay.
Canada.
Okay.
However, they do have a lot of scholarships for both graduate and undergraduate. For
Okay.
both graduate and undergraduate, there is this scholarship called Mastercard Foundation Scholarship,
Okay.
where Mastercard has partnered with certain universities all over the world to
Mm.
give scholarships to students I think from African countries. So
Okay.
Mastercard partnered with 3 universities in Canada, and University of British Columbia is one of them. The other 2 schools are McGill and Toronto. So University of Toronto, McGill, and then University of British Columbia.
Okay.
So with MasterCard, that's something that if you're from Africa, anywhere from Africa, I don't know about other countries, but if you're an African watching this video, MasterCard is something that you can look into, do some browsing, do some research, and then see what programs the universities that are offered in the universities that have partnered with this Mastercard, see what
Yeah.
programs they're offering that are under that scholarship, because it's not every program that is under that
Okay.
scholarship.
Okay.
But something like Presidential Scholars Award or Centennial Scholars Entrance Award, for
Mm.
example, now where the value is like you can win something like $5,000 one time and it's renewable, or if you can win up to 10,000 or up to 40,000, right? These scholarships are renewable every
Okay.
year, right? So University of British Columbia has a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is University of Toronto. I know that's the highest number 1 school in Canada. And, to get into Toronto, it's not easy. It's not easy, right? You
Mm.
have to be extremely, extremely competitive, like
Really.
in the top 1 to 5% or so to get into Toronto. But they do have a lot of scholarships though. For
Okay.
example, something like Lester B. Pearson scholarship for undergraduate studies.
Okay.
That one, you have to be nominated by your secondary school in order
Okay.
to qualify. That's one of the requirements. There's also something like President Scholars Excellence Program. where University of Toronto is giving 150 students $10,000 entrance scholarship. So you use $10,000 in your first year.
Mm.
Imagine $10,000 to 150 students. How much is that?
That's a lot. That's
That's
a
a lot
lot.
on 1.5
That's
million.
a
But they do. The University of Toronto offers a lot of scholarships.
yeah.
Another university is Simon Fraser. So Simon Fraser has undergraduate scholars entrance scholarships,
Mm.
and it ranges from $10,000 up to the entire tuition of your program. So the entire tuition for the year. They also have a lot of bursaries. Bursaries are based on financial need. So you
Mm.
can apply for bursaries once you start school. Take advantage of every opportunity. Because sometimes some of these scholarships, right? When you see them, you think you won't be able to qualify. But you'll
Mm.
never know until you apply,
Until you
right?
try.
And there are
Yeah.
some scholarships that you think, oh, too many people apply for it. But it's funny, nobody has applied for that
Mm.
scholarship because people don't know, or maybe people haven't come across that scholarship before. So Simon Fraser University is another school to look at for scholarships. They have a lot
Mm.
on their page. There is also Toronto Metropolitan University. So Toronto Metropolitan University, they have like some prestigious entrance awards
Mm.
of up to $10,000 for your degree, and I believe it's renewable every year.
Okay.
Then coming to University of Ottawa has a number of scholarships, and also I think with COVID, what happened was there were some new scholarships that were invented like ever since this whole COVID thing started,
Okay. Yeah.
and they call it the differential tuition exemption scholarship,
Mm.
whereby depending on your program, when you apply, they will slash a certain amount off your tuition. So, for
Okay.
example, if your tuition is, say, this is just an example,
Yeah.
if you apply and your tuition is $15,000 in a year, so with the differential tuition exemption scholarship, if you qualify
Yeah.
for that, right, they will take off, let's say, something like $10,000 off that $15,000 tuition. So what you're left to pay is maybe $5,000 or
Wow.
$4,000.
Wow.
And compare paying $15,000 with
To
$4,000
5,000. Yeah.
for the
Mm.
year. Compare it, it's
That's
cheaper,
a gap.
right?
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
cheaper. Yes, $4,000 is still a lot of money, but you cannot compare it
You
with
can't. No.
50,000 for the
Mhm.
year, right? It's easier for you to
More
get
than more
$4,000.
than times three. Yeah.
Yes, now it's easier for you to get $4,000. So it
Mm.
is a lot. I do know, or I do remember that one of the conditions for that differential tuition exemption scholarship is being able to speak French.
Okay.
Yes, so because Ottawa is basically the capital of Canada,
Okay.
and I think you have to take at least one or two courses in French. So you have to know how to speak French
Wow.
to,
That,
yeah, for that kind of scholarship. Then recently, they also started the African scholarship. So there are two different categories for the African scholarship. I have actually forgotten the exact amount for that award, but it's something you can easily find online on the school
okay.
site. Where if you're from any African country at all,
Mm.
right? It's a merit scholarship. So when you apply for admission, of course you identify your country, right? And then if you meet up with their requirements and they nominate you, right,
Yeah.
you can get the African exemption scholarship. I think it's $10,000. I'm not too sure,
Okay.
but you can get that African exemption scholarship. So I'm throwing it out there in case there are your subscribers from
Yeah.
Africa
Yeah.
that are watching this.
Mm.
So, and then there is also University of Alberta. University of Alberta has a lot of scholarships, especially for undergraduates. There are entrance scholarships whereby if you are just that lucky person,
Mm.
right, you will receive up to $120,000, and that $120,000 in scholarship is for 4 years. So you're going to school for free.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an entrance scholarship, and I think it's a merit-based scholarship.
It
I think
must
it's
be
a
very
merit-based
competitive.
scholarship.
Yeah.
Yes, it's they have entrance scholarships, but those ones are competitive, right? So
Mm.
if you are lucky, they have up to 120,000. So you might get something like, if you're lucky, you might get something like 40,000. You
Yeah.
might get
Yeah.
something like a certain amount. But if
Mm.
you're just that lucky person,
You
then
hit the
up to
jackpot.
120. They also have like some other smaller scholarships on their page. There is
Mm.
bursary that you can apply for. See, guys, when you come into Canada, take advantage of bursary as an international student.
Mm.
Take advantage of bursaries as an international student. You have to demonstrate financial need. That's
Mm.
the thing with bursary. Just
Okay.
as long as you can show that you are in
You
dire
need.
need,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
financial help, right? If you're lucky and they determine you a good fit, they will give you the money. That's money that you're not paying back that money with
Wow.
bursary.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
thank you.
And guys, already you know what to do. You can send them email. Send them email. Find out about their requirements. Ada, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I guess I would just say I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck. So take
Don't
advantage of
procrastinate.
this application
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
We are already in November. Applications opened officially since last month for all manner of programs:
Yeah.
bachelor's, college diploma, master's, PhD, whatever it is that you want to study in Canada against next year. Now is the best time to apply. Some deadlines are in December, some deadlines are in January or
Mm.
February or March, but really, honestly, now is the best time to apply. So
Mm.
don't waste this time period that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. Please, please, and please subscribe to Ada's YouTube channel, Ada Canada.
Oh my gosh.
Everything you need to know about Canada, like everything is there. And also click the like button. Subscribe to my channel as well if you're new. And we'll see you guys again the next time. Bye.
Okay. See you. Bye.